Hey, it's Netiva, the Frugal CrediTnista, coming at you live for a Q&A Friday. Have some awesome questions lined up for us. And obviously, if you guys have questions as well, definitely post them below and I will answer them for you. This can be in regards to my favorite topic, credit, budgeting, which is the catalyst or the mandatory step to take if you want a permanent credit transformation. Home ownership, as most of you know, I've been a realtor for over a decade. Real estate investing, whatever it is, post it below and I'll definitely reach out to you, give you options and all of that good stuff. So I have some questions lined up as usual. If you ever want to send me a question and you're on my email list, then definitely do so. I usually post at the beginning of the week, letting you know to post any questions, or if you want a hot seat while I do a live credit report review, what have you, to just reply back to the email and do so. If you're wondering how to get on my email list, then all you have to do is smack that free 5-day credit challenge link above, and boom, you're on it. You can just reply back, hey, Tara, how are you? How are you? How are you? So the first question is, have about $2,300. I'm getting a lot of these questions. I'm having about $2,300 coming back from taxes, wondering if I should apply it to all of my debts or if I should save it. That's a great question. Number one, I would do a budget. Number two, I will look at your bank accounts. That'll let you know if you need to just be stacking cash. I view tax money as just that, like a money windfall of people, basically unexpected money. It's not money that you're going to get again until next year. If you do get a refund, hi Latrice, hi Patina, hi T. So it's basically money that you're not going to get on a month-to-month basis. So you want to be really mindful of how you apply it. A lot of people are not good at saving. They view money that's just sitting there as being wasted when it's really there for you in case an emergency happens. Not an emergency, I want to go on vacation. This came up, I want to buy it. This came up, I want to go here. No, a legit emergency, an unplanned expense that you now have money to rely on to take care of it. So a lot of people have literally less than $500. Actually, when I talk to them, they have less than like $300. So I would encourage you to do set up that emergency fund. I would have it accessible to the point where if an emergency happens, you can access it, but inaccessible to the point that it's not linked to your main bank account. So you can just transfer it back, where it's a bit inconvenient that you will only want to get access to it if it's a legit emergency. One of the things that I had to do, most of you know, who I see on here, that I like straight up had a horrible spending problem. It's not like perfect now, I'm gonna be real with you, but it is like 90% better. So I could not even have it in a state. I got a credit union in Ohio. I did not get online access. I did not get a debit card. If I wanted money out of there, it had to be mailed to me. And, you know, I can pay a little extra to get it overnighted. Like that's the only way I was able to save it. And like in less than 6 months, I was able to stack $10,000. That just goes to show you how much extra money that I had access to. Of course, there was no kids. You know, them people really suck up all your extra cash with them emergencies. But, you know, that just goes to show what can happen if you make it inconvenient. So I would do that. If you do have an emergency fund already, definitely apply it to your debts. And so the next question will obviously be what debt to apply it to. That's why I said that the first step should definitely be a budget. And then you want to do a debt list. And so a lot of people are confused, like, how should I rank my debt? Which one I should go with first? And it really depends on what your financial picture looks like. What do I mean by that? Some of my clients have just debts that they're paying interest on per month, and I have to assess what will motivate them. Some people just like not paying extra money to pay off the debt. Then we're going to rank them by interest rate. Some people are motivated just to get rid of a debt. We're going to rank it from lowest to highest. Some of you guys have balance transfer checks with expiration dates, and the last thing we want is for that balance transfer to expire, because then interest is going to be added from the date that you took the transfer to the present date. And that's a whole lot of interest that we want to avoid. Excuse me, it really depends on what you have going on. But most people just do a snowball, lowest to highest. But please do not let those balance transfers expire if that's the case for you. So again, if you don't have savings, definitely put it in an inconvenience place. Do not have it linked to your checking account. And if you do have an emergency fund, then yes, apply it to your debts. And you want to really create a strategy on how you're going to start tackling them. So please be working budget month to month with a budget. Hey guys, I see we have Martha, Latrice, Leslie, and Shay that came on. Hey, hey, hey. All right, so the next question is, I'm getting a lot of tax questions. I am not a tax professional, but I did have one of my tax pros come on, Shahida Nicole, who's going to be speaking in our Credit Makes Sense Facebook group and taking your tax questions. So for all of you guys that are asking me about children and businesses, I don't know. I hire tax people, so please join us Monday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. I left the link to the free Facebook group above. She is the best person to tackle your questions. I have a few more people that I trust and rely on as well with my partners. I don't just send you guys anybody. I send you legit folks who have worked with my clients whom I trust above anything else. So definitely be with us inside of Credit Makes Sense community on Monday at 7:30. I'll be posting some reminders as well on my page. So sorry, tax folks, I can't help you. Let me see, trying to buy a home and my husband keeps paying bills late and pushing our move date further. Not sure what to do about it. I'm getting very frustrated. Yes, that is frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating. So I'm going to give you a personal experience and also what I use with my clients. Find out if he wants a home. Usually when I see sabotaging actions like that, it's either because they really don't know that they're sabotaging things, or because they really don't want to do it, so they're sabotaging on purpose. So find out what his goals are if he wants a home. It's one thing to want to spend your money because you made it. It's another one to spend in a way that's preventing you and your family from moving forward. So I also know, based on my husband, okay, there's ego involved, right? So if I come at him wrong, that ego come up, even when he wrong, right? That ego comes up. And it's like this, but interesting enough, I'm the same way. Don't check me. Don't check me, right? So it's a way that you want to communicate with each other so that you're receptive to the information. One of the things that the Bible talks about is seasoning your words with salt, right? You got to make it palatable. So I would advise having a serious sit-down conversation and don't even mention the money, but just talk about your goals and see if he really wants home ownership. Then you can pull up my free challenge and be like, look, babe, got this bomb challenge for my girl Netiva. I'll update the list with the free home challenge, and she walks us through how to start getting our finances on point for free to buy a home. When you get to the late payment section, don't even say nothing. You just put up day one. All right, babe, this is what we're doing day one. Day two, this is what we're doing day two. So when he gets to the late payments, just be like, oh, dang, we got to change some things. Look at our credit report. Look at all them late payments. Don't even blame them. Look at all these late payments. We gotta change this. Come on, because it says it's going to be 12 months before we can even buy a home, even be qualified for a home per each late payment. That means that the late payment that happened in January, now we got to wait all the way to January 2009 and the lease expires XYZ. That's how you do it. Then there's going to be I got to get my ish together if I want this house. So that's how I would do it. And then, of course, partners, if you have suggestions, list them below for our girl so she can get her husband on board. I have a medical debt that's not on my credit report yet. They won't accept a settlement. I know that they are working with the hospital because they directed me to them, but I'm not really sure how to get a settlement on this. Okay, so this is what I usually do with any collection if they're not looking to settle. So usually when a collection agency has been hired, they want to get as much money as possible because they either get some type of commission or overage or what have you. And so that's why they're playing hardball. The original creditor wants them, they want them coins, right? So if they directed me to this collection agency, I will either A, write the president of the company, let them know that I'm really frustrated. I mean, the letter is just filled with stress. I write the letter to the president, letting them know I'm very stressed. I'm trying to resolve matters. I apologize, for falling behind. XYZ was going on, but I'm really looking to settle this account in full. I went to the collection agency, or you can either say the company that you guys referred me to, but they have not been working with me at all. They're only offering me the full price. I know this is now past due. They're not offering me any payment arrangements. They're just saying I want their money. I'm not sure if this is how you do business, but I'm really looking to get this resolved while I have the money on hand. Most of them know you have your tax refund that's coming or that you already have. And so they're looking to get it off. Basically, they want their money. And so either they're going to contact the collection agency with an arrangement or they're going to let you pay them directly. Sometimes I send that letter to the company, and I also send another letter called a knockout letter to the collection agency. This only works with assigned debts. You can Google it. I do have a copy in my Facebook group for free in the file section if you're a prosperity partner inside of my Credit Makes Sense community. It's in the file section. Just look for dispute letter package, something like that. But it's a knockout letter. Like I said, you can Google it. And I send that at the same time. The knockout letter pretty much says there's no law that says I have to do business with you. I'd rather do business with the original creditor. Not set in stone, as I mentioned. Credit professionals use a slew of tactics to get items, debts, credit items off of credit reports, all that good stuff. So those are just two that I use, the most successful ones that I use in order to handle that. So hopefully that's good for you. Hi, Stanet. How are you? Where can I find the home challenge info? Martha, I will post it. If you go to bit.ly/claim my keys, you will find it. I'll actually just put it in here, hopefully. Claim my keys. Hopefully I typed it right, so it'll pop up for you. All right. That was actually got a home question coming up. How far will a lender go back? Okay, I'm thinking they're asking how far will they go back as far as your credit history when approving you for a loan. That lets me know you may have some stuff on your credit that you don't want the lender to look at. So a lender will go back however far they need to. So there's a couple of things that stand out. And as I mentioned in the home buying challenge, you're going to see that information as well. I just put the link there. And when I'm done with the live, I'll put it in the description under the resources mentioned area as well. If you are in my Credit on Fire members club, you will see not only a breakdown of all this information in the 10-day challenge, but you'll also see the live from my VP of Mortgage Compliance, myself breaking down the FICO mortgage score, some resources and an audio on NACA. Like, you guys got it bomb.com lit, so you guys are good. So if you're going FHA, typically they check the first 12 months and then they're going to check the 24 months. 24 months is usually like the synonymous amount of time that they'll go back. That doesn't mean that they don't see the rest of your history. It just means that they're going to put more emphasis on the past 24 months. Okay. They're not going to want to see any late payments within the past 12 months, any new non-medical collections or charge-offs in the past 12 months. So that's why that 12 months is so important. They're also not going to want to see preferably any recent inquiries. They don't mind if they were like 6 months plus old, but if they're fairly recent, like some people go car shopping like months before or try to shopping cart trick and it don't work and leave a slew of inquiries on their credit report. No, don't pull nothing unless you absolutely have to. And then if you have a good explanation, the lender that you're working with, the loan officer, can create a story that will appease the underwriter. I personally had to go through this. We bought, we ended up doing a balance transfer check to buy our car because I knew I was going to pay it off in like less than, I think it was 18 to 24 months. But we did check with 2 places to see if they can beat the balance transfer check. If maybe it'll be so low that, you know, we will want to use that. And we just decided to do the 0% balance transfer. But anywho, all they had to do was explain why we did it, but it still doesn't do well for your credit scores. A new loan, the inquiry, all of that is very increase of credit, card utilization, all of that is very sensitive in the mortgage FICO score. So a lot of you guys were telling me in a previous post on home ownership that you had tax debts that you owe. And some people were saying you can get it removed from your credit reports early. You can. I mean, it's difficult, but you definitely can if you remain persistent. Some were saying that they had judgments that were unpaid that were removed with the you know what happened last year when the bureaus removed all of the older or judgments that weren't tied to your personal information. So if they couldn't match to your name, date of birth, address, and social, they would remove the judgment. But that doesn't mean that the lender doesn't see that. So the lender will pull a public record search. They're going to pull a CAVERS report. And they're also, I forgot the name of the system, going to pull a system, pretty much it's like a ban list for FHA. So I'll go through each one. The public record search, even if you try to freeze your LexisNexis and all these other places, they will still see them. And if they can't see them, they will not issue an approval on that loan. They need to see that public record search per all of the loan types guidelines, all of the underwriting guidelines of any loan type that you have that's government backed. So maybe if you do like a private or non-conforming loan, you don't have to do this. But if you're going FHA, VA, USDA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they're going to pull that public record search. And if it's unpaid or not on a payment plan, get on a payment plan. If it's a tax lien, you're going to want to do the same thing. A judgment, you're going to do the same thing. So either pay it off, they can be settled. In my opinion, I will settle it, or you can pay it off, or you're going to want to have it on a payment plan. Each lender is different how long they want you to be on a payment plan. The more lenient one just is like 3 months. The not so lenient ones, 12 months. So FYI on that. CAVERS is a system where they see if you owe the government. So I'll give you an example. One of my clients got everything situated with her credit, and there was an account on there that I didn't know about because it wasn't on the credit report, right? So we got her to the point where she went and got her VA loan. She got her initial approval, was super excited, yay! Then comes back that she owes, I guess it's a loan that you guys have with the VA, and it wasn't on her credit report. It was been in arrears for about 2.5 years. Oh my God, what do I do? Like, I'm like, did you know that you owed them? Because we could have like put this into your plan and worked out a payment arrangement. Yeah, but since it wasn't on my credit report, I didn't think it would matter. Of course it matters. You think they're not going to find out? One of the things that they're checking is to make sure that their lien position on the property that you buy is not compromised by the IRS, another creditor, or government debt. Because once you buy the property, they have priority because they existed first, right? So they're going to want to have you pay that off. If you owe student loans, if you defaulted, I've had some people get successfully remove their student loans and think, oh yeah, and I can go home shopping because that default is no longer shown on my credit report. The CAVERS report is going to show the defaulted student loans, and you're not going to get the money until you either A, consolidate, or B, do the 9-month rehabilitation program. And some lenders will add back all of the payment history from those defaulted loans into like they call it added back to your credit report. It's not adding it back with Equifax, Experian, and other bureaus. It's adding it back superficially to their like internal credit reporting system. So keep that in mind. Then I told you guys about the ban list. I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically if you ever lied on a HUD application when you were applying for a loan, they report it and ban you from being able to take out another loan. So this means, remember the client that I told you that owed the government and didn't tell me so that we can work out a payment plan and I can forewarn her of this. Well, she lied on the application stating that she did not have any outstanding government debts, and then they could have added her to this ban list so she couldn't use it again. So that's just an example of how that will work. That was a long-winded answer, honey, but I mean, there's no like set in stone when it comes to buying a home because each lender's standards are going to be different. So each company or each loan type, FHA, VA, etc., has their sets of guidelines. Like these are the minimum guidelines that we require in order to be approved for a loan with us. And then the lender says, okay, well, you're just guaranteeing the loan, but we're actually giving the money. So on top of your standards, we're going to add boom, 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 boom. Classic example, FHA will go as low as $550 if you have a 10% down payment. But most trying to find a lender to like get that is very hard. It's very, very, very few who will do that. Most start at what? $620. You have a few more who would do $580, but like across the board, $620 is like that score, right? So that's called that extra guideline. It's called a lender overlay. So that's what I mean by that. That was long, y'all. I'm sorry. Hopefully you learned something. That was a long-winded answer, but hopefully you learned something. And then if you take the free challenge, again, I'll put it in the description when I update it. I'll go even more into detail. And then I have like a full course that literally walks you through underwriting guidelines, credit, budgeting, debt elimination, all of that in order to get you prepped for a home. All right. Okay, I get this a lot, you guys. And this is from the same person. Call her my Eeyore. Oh my gosh, every time I talk to this partner, she is just so sad, sad, sad. And I'm trying to lift her spirits, but you know, sometimes people got to pull themselves. So the question is, every time I take one step forward, I get knocked 10 steps back. How can I avoid this? I'm very frustrated with moving forward. Let me preface this by saying, I have been there. I think anytime you're trying to move towards something great, then you're going to be faced with trials and tribulations. In my opinion, that's just life. So one of the quotes that I have, especially when I was really going through things, and I first heard it from Lisa Nichols, and she said that challenge that you're going through wasn't supposed to break you. It was supposed to teach you and lead you to your breakthrough. When I first heard that, I was like, oh, it wasn't supposed to break you. It was supposed to teach you and lead you to your breakthrough. Lisa was preaching when she said that to me, honey, because so many times we can let any little thing that throws us off center to like break us. I should give up. I don't know. I'm just so sad, blah, blah, blah. Let's Eeyore talk. Okay. Like many of you guys are from, Tiffany's Live Richer, my prosperity partners. Who else is out there? Hustle Crew. Like I got so many different groups that you guys are in that I'm noticing your faces on. And we give you our tribe those names because that's how we want you guys to be focused or to act or learn to progress towards prosperity, richer, hustle. What else? Money controllers. So all of that requires a mindset shift. So when things come up, that's just life. I have not accomplished anything where I didn't have a set of tribulations along the way. So I would say get over it quick, see what you can do or what steps led to it so that you can know what to avoid or to how to better prepare if it comes up again or when the next one comes up again. Learn from the lesson. We lose so much time when we're focusing on what happened, woe is me, I can't believe, blah, 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 that we miss the lessons. We miss the lessons. Sometimes instead of sitting back and soaking, I'm not saying don't soak. That's a human nature. That's human nature. But also sit back and reflect. Damn, how did I get here? You know what I'm saying? How did this happen? What? I mean, sometimes you got to literally sit and dissect that stuff so you can utilize whatever lesson that you have for the next one, because it ain't going to stop. If you think that anything you accomplish is going to be easy, stop being unrealistic. That's all I can say. I'll pray for you. Is there a difference between that letter and a cease and desist letter? I'm sorry, Tara, I just saw this. So you're talking about the knockout letter versus the cease and desist letter? Yes, cease and desist just means don't call me, mail me, or it can mean don't call or mail me if it's past the statute of limitations. The knockout letter is I don't have to do business with you. Show me something showing that I have to do business with you. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking to the original creditor. So that's what that is. Oh, thanks, Shay. Where can I find? Okay, I think I answered all of you guys' info. I had one more on here. What is the ideal number of cards I should have? So credit cards, I believe you are talking about. The ideal number of credit cards is up to you. I mean, you really only need, like, in my opinion, 2. But I found that 3 to 5 really helps my clients increase their scores faster. It really depends on how their credit profile is, but I would not get more than you can handle. So many are worried about the number of cards instead of just taking a break after about 1 or 2 and really working on their credit habits. Another question that I didn't include, but I'll include it in this answer, is that a lot of people ask me, how should I use my card? And then I'll see some people, you can charge as much as you like, as long as you pay it off before the billing cycle. That works for people who are playing the reward system, but it also works for people who aren't using credit as an extension of their income, but a tool. When you play the travel or cards rewards game, you got to have your money on point. If you're just spending because you run out of money and you figure I got the credit card, I'll just pay it on my next check, which is before the billing cycle ends, that's a poor credit habits. If the check doesn't come, a lot of people, my government clients and students who were furloughed without paying all that, they found that out real quick, that playing the charge up as much as you want because that next check is coming is not the best strategy when you haven't developed a good credit habits yet. So I would say however many you can handle. I will work on a budget first. I would start now, since it looks like you're starting off using credit as a tool and not as an extension of your income or a means to create debt. I would keep the balances in as under 10%. My sweet spot for certain clients has been between 1% and 3%. For those with a little bit more history, like 5 to 7%. Either way, under 10%. Pay off in full when you get the statement Anything can happen between the statements, the date that you receive the statement, and the billing date. But for practicing to pay it by the time you get the statement, you are cushioning yourself. You have about 21 more days in case something happens with the payment, something happens with, bank not lending, whatever. Anything happen with the payment, you got time. There are 51 days from the date that you get the statement from the date that a late payment ends up on your credit report. So I always tell people, utilize that time wisely. If you start from jump, practicing to pay it off by the statement date, you cushion yourself from a lot more down the line. This way, doing it this way and not playing the when should I pay, and all that good stuff that I talked about previously, that'll put you in a position for your scores to increase, your credit profile to strengthen, and for you to start utilizing your credit to do what I love to do, which is create wealth. So that means that as your scores increase, you can now leverage your credit scores, use other people's money to invest in real estate and grow a business and whatever else you need to do. We talked about business credit a little bit inside the free community. And, some people are like, oh, I got approved with no problems. Others like, oh, I got denied. Yeah, because a lot of people are using that. Oh, your personal credit doesn't have to be linked to your business credit. So I'm gonna just build this business credit and let my personal credit go by the side. And then they try to go to Bank America or Chase or Citi and get some type of line of credit in order to start making some wealth creating moves, and they get shut down. No, both of them are important. Both of them are equally important. All right. I think I answered everybody's questions. I did. All right. You can find me Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon for the Lunch and Learn. On Fridays, we do the Q&A sessions. If any of this information was dope and you're wondering how can I learn more, then I would definitely check out my Credit on Fire Members Club. I literally walk you guys from everything from start to finish. Improving your credit, mastering your money, destroying your debts, purchasing a home. And we are starting our real estate investment class next month. And this month we're doing... what are we doing this? Medical collections. We also have our VA class coming up. So it's a side hustle series. We also have investing in tax liens. We also have wholesaling. We also have firing your repossessions. We also have how to purchase your first stock. I mean, do I need to go on? It's bomb. It's bomb. If you're looking to create wealth, definitely rock out with me on creditonfire.us, creditonfire.us. And I will chat with you on Monday. Bye.